Hi everyone, my name is Kadin Arslanoski and this is Dane Cooper, who'll be my client for today. We're just going to be running through a couple of exercises today, just for my simulation activity for Australian Institute of Personal Training. As you can see, this is my gym. This is my little setup I've got in my garage at home. So we'll be using a couple basic exercises. What we'll also be doing, Dane, is a couple of regressions to go through a couple of medical conditions that we can alter our exercises for. So how are you feeling today, buddy?
Good.
Good? No problems at all. So mate, is it okay, what we'll be doing today, we'll be doing 3 movements. We'll be doing a bench press, a lunge and then a seated row, or a bench press, seated row and then a lunge. They're all pretty primary muscles, I guess you could call them. They're all quite big muscles, so we can, it doesn't really matter about the order that we perform them in. So for our chest, we'll be doing a bench press, and then with a regression of an incline press for a low blood pressure client. Second exercise, we'll be doing a seated press, if that's alright with you. And then for a medical condition or a regression for that, we'll be doing a one arm low row on a bench. And then for the third exercise, we'll be doing a lunge, but with a regression of having the bench there to support us on our the way up of the movement. And then obviously we'll do some cardio to end. I can tell you a bit about your your heart rate at the end, and then we'll probably be done there. How's that sound to you, Dane?
Sounds great.
Sounds good? No problems at all, man. So we can probably get started there. Dane's been going for about 4 minutes on the cross trainer, so he's been pretty warmed up, and all his core temperature is elevated. So did you want to get started today, mate?
That's
no problems at all. Alright, buddy. So we can just stop you there. So the first exercise we'll be doing today, Dane, is obviously a bench press. As you can see, so I can show you the bench press movement. So what we'll be doing, the important thing for the bench press is unless the trainer specifically advises you to have 2 feet up on the bench or 1 foot on the floor, or different, it's always important to have your legs shoulder width approximately. Just so gives you a good stabilisation on the floor, so you're not swaying or tipping. Now as you can see, there's not a heavy poundage on the side. It's just a simple 10 pounds or 5 kilos along with the bar. The bar weighs about 6 kilos as well, so it's not going to be too much a heavier movement. The important thing today, Dane, is just to get our technique right, and we can show you a couple of regressions. Sound good? Yeah. No problems at all. So the first thing with the bench press, alright? It's important. What we're going to be doing today is just a medium grip. So I grab the thumbs on either side of the bar, and then holding the bar. Right. So it's important always to keep the elbows at the side of your body, pushing up, bringing the bar in close and in line with the I guess you could say the middle of the chest, or for some people you could say the middle of the nipple. Then you're coming down, and then always up with an easy, nice controlled technique form. Yeah, sound good? So that's probably pretty much what we'll be doing there, Dane. Does that sound good with you?
sounds good.
Oh, good. So we can pop you up on the bench, mate. We can start off with the bench press. Now the bench press is probably a staple movement for any either mass building. It's not so much of an isolation exercise because it is a compound movement. But for any athlete, the bench press is quite a good movement to perform. So we're pushing up there, as you can see, bringing in the middle of the chest, pushing down. Dane's always remembering technique over form, technique over weight, sorry, and always breathing in and out. There we go, perfect, Dane. Going down, I've got you there. Perfect. So we can just do one more, then we're up. I've got the weight there, mate. Stabilising it down. Now you can hop up, Dane. And what I'm going to do here, Dane, I'm going to pop the weight down. Obviously, it's not a heavy weight, so I can show you a couple of regressions and just hold the bar off. Now the important thing about this is we're going to do a regression for a medical condition called low blood pressure. Now the thing about exercising with low blood pressure is, obviously if the client's going to do, specifically for the decline bench, is probably not going to be a very good idea, because you always want their head elevated, so when the client does pop back up, it's not going to, all the blood's not going to rush a different part of the areas of the body, and the client's just going to end up passing out. So what we're going to do here is called an incline bench. So the head is going to be well above, well above the body. Alright, so we'll be doing an incline bench, and I can show you the technique for that one. Pretty much the exact same technique for the flat bench, but as I said, it's quite a good regression to have for a low blood pressure client, or if you're doing rehab for a patient, maybe with some low blood pressure. Now you can obviously pull it with a medium grip, as I said before. Nice and easy tempo, or weight's not important at the moment. We're just practicing on technique. So you're pushing up in line with the middle of the chest, coming down, up, down, up. So as I said, this is a really good movement for someone with low blood pressure because it keeps the head elevated at an incline angle. So when the patient does get, or the client does get back up, the blood's not going to be rushing to different areas, and the blood will always be stabilised on the head. So the client is, in other words, the client's not going to pass out. So we can grab the head under here. We can perform a couple of these. So this is the regression for a low blood pressure client, as I've said. Incline bench, going down, up, down, up. Perfect. How's that feel for you, Dane?
Feels good.
Feels good. 2 more. There we go, last one. Perfect there, Dane. Put it back down. So how you feel there, Dane? Not too bad?
Good.
Yep, so as you can see, Dane's easily accessible to get back up in the upright position. His head's not dizzy, or you're not feeling any dizziness, are you, Dane? So this is a really good one for a low blood pressure client, incline bench. Exercise number 2. We're doing a seated row just here, so you might need to prop the camera around just a bit. So this is just for a normal client, okay? Quite a good another exercise for the back. This will stabilise and engage all the muscles in the middle of the middle of the back. All right, you're not going to hit any of the upper. You might hit the upper back, but mainly the middle muscle. All right, of the back. So you're just here. Holding the bar, I'd say about a closed grip. Okay. Pulling back. It's always important to tell your clients when they're performing a back movement to keep the spine slightly curved, just so you'll be engaging a lot of the back muscles instead of pulling straight, where you'll be pulling with more of your front delts. All right. It's important to always keep the spine slightly angled, and then we can just pull into the stomach. They're squeezing the back of the back of the muscle, yeah? So just imagine there's a pencil in between your shoulder blades, squeezing that back. There we go. So this is a good muscle for the middle of the back. Obviously you'll be hitting slightly, you can perform a couple if you like, slightly, the middle of the latissimus dorsi, the lower parts of it, and a lot of that beef of the back, where you want a lot of thickness of the back. So pulling in, there we go, Dane. So it's hitting the lower trapezius as well. I can feel that working in Dane, and also the rhomboids as well. So it's hitting a pretty thick part of the back. Not so much the upper back. Dane's upper back isn't working where you'd be doing to maybe hit a lat pull down movement, where you'd be using a lot of the upper back muscles, but this will be hitting the middle of the back, which is where you get a lot of the back thickness. How's that feel for you, Dane? Feels good. So we can stop there, mate, and what I'll do now, I can actually show you a regression of the exercise called a one-arm row. But a lot of people can do it. A lot of people do it without a bench, or a lot of people do it just on the weight rack. But what you can do here, say for a client that has a lower back problem, you can actually do this exercise on the bench. So what you can do here is have your knee on one side, probably the opposite side that you're doing the exercise on. Have your hands set on the bench, all right. So you're stabilizing the muscles, so there's not so much pulling with the lower back, all right. Where you're pulling with the seated row, you'll be pulling with a lot of your lower back and trying to stabilize that lower back. There's not so much movement because you're bending down and supporting your body weight with your opposite hand, okay? So the important thing is to keep the straight back, obviously horizontal, down, you can probably move over